incoherent, close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
All right, welcome to the Author Your Brand Show. We have some rational thoughts coming up, unlike the Adam Sandler movie that was taken from. Our guest today is, I guarantee you're going to have to get your seatbelt on, take some notes. You're going to want to take notes. He's a keynote speaker. He's an author, podcaster, and he's a creator of Rockstar Marketing and Rock Your Life. Yes, there's some Rockstar themes coming up here. He's written 9 books. It's 9 books. And multiple #1 Amazon bestselling author. His background includes touring with Guns N' Roses, being Axl Rose's personal assistant, and Air Supply as Van's personal assistant. So there's a lot of stories there, and he can probably share some of them. He's also an award-winning copywriter, working as a creative director of a Los Angeles-based ad agency until he opened up his own ad agency, Green Room Design and Advertising, which is named 2002 Santa Clarita, I said with an accent, Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Small Business of the Year. No slouch. Welcome to the show today, my good friend, Craig Duswalt. Craig, how are you today?
I am fine, Dougie.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Wow. So people are going to have a lot of fun today, whether they like it or not. So tell the audience today why they should stick around and listen to you.
Because you're asking great questions today. That's why. That's why. So, yeah, I mean, I have a whole new thing that I'm doing. I've been doing this for 16 years, speaking.
Yeah.
I started late in life. As you mentioned, I toured Guns N' Roses, Air Supply. I share at my seminars, like what I learned touring with these bands.
Right.
I teach marketing mainly. I used to mainly teach marketing. And I learned a lot of, I was a marketing major in college, and I learned a lot of really outside the box marketing with Guns N' Roses and Air Supply. How do you get 80,000 people to come to a concert, right? But over the last 2 years, because of COVID, I had time to sit and just think and overthink. And I just came up with, like, what do I really do? I teach mindset, I teach marketing, I teach mastery, how to master something, how to become the rock star in your business. And I teach how to become a speaker. I teach people how to blog. I teach people how to podcast. I do all these things, and I tried to narrow it down to one thing. What do I do? And then what I came up with, I help people deliver their message like a rock star. And so I'm writing a book right now called Deliver Your Message Like a Rock Star. It'll be my 10th book. And so today, for the first time, actually, I'm actually going to share some things of how to deliver your message, whatever the message is, like a rock star. So, you're my guinea pig, Doug. I'm never new content. I'm doing my first event with Deliver Your Message Like a Rock Star in July in Texas. So I'm testing it out today.
All right, we'll test away. So, folks, does that mean I have to wear like long hair and a crazy coat like you wear, those crazy jackets that you wear? Or?
No, look, my hair's short now too. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, I've seen some of the pictures from the Axl Rose days where it's a little bit longer, but okay.
A little longer.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, share your message like a rock star. I met you at one of your what was it called? Rockstar Marketing Boot Camp.
Yep.
But that's still kind of a rock star thing. What's the difference?
So Rockstar Marketing Bootcamp was all marketing. It was 250 outside the box marketing ideas. Some were really crazy. Some were like so crazy that no one would do it. But it makes you start thinking, well, I'm not going to do that because Craig is crazy. He'll do that. But it makes people think outside the box and think differently than regular marketing. So it was literally a 5-day seminar back then where I taught marketing, more marketing, and more marketing. And it was basically, like I said, outside the box marketing. And I would go into detail of so one of them was like, should I share one? An outside the box?
I want to know one of the ones that people wouldn't do that you did. That's what I really want to know.
Oh, I did. I would go to remind me envelope, because I'll forget. Okay. I used to go to the junkyard, and I would get like a door from a car, usually like a Volkswagen door because they're smaller. Right. And I had an ad agency that you mentioned, Green Room Design and Advertising, and I won Small Business of the Year in 2002 in Santa Clarita, California. And I like the way you said Clarita, by the way. And so I used to go to the junkyard. I would get a door. I would bring it back to my ad agency, and I would write on the door, roll up window, and then so what I would do is I would hire a courier to take the door to a potential client, like a door, and they would deliver it to a client and leave the door in the reception area, and everyone would come out and probably look at it and go, "What the heck is this?" And on the door, it was painted in a nice logo, "Roll up the window." And they rolled up the window of the door, and there was a sign that came up that said, "We blow the doors off the competition." And I used to get clients doing that. But
clients and calls from the junk man, yeah, whatever.
And have the cojones to send it to somebody.
That is ballsy. I like that.
Yeah,
wow,
it works. It works.
Sometimes
you got to go pick up the door for them though, because they're like, "Where do I put the door?" I said,
reminds me of a story of one of my Hollywood friends told me about this script that was being shopped in Hollywood, and it was called The Ticking Man. Some guy that was going to be a robot with a nuclear bomb in him, and he was whatever, And so the writer or the writer's agent took a clock that was ticking with a note in there that says, "The ticking man is coming," right? And they sent it to all the producers, all the production houses, and they're all like, "What is this? Ticking man's coming." And the script came out like a week or two later, and there was a bidding war for it.
Wow.
Now, have you heard of the movie The Ticking Man?
No.
Nobody has. It wasn't that good of a script, but the marketing was.
Yes, I love that.
Of course, this is before 9/11. I'm absolutely sure.
Yes, right. Yeah. Now, not so funny, right? Exactly.
Right. Okay. So a door is that's very uncreative. I mean, junkyard free delivery, whatever cost if you're local, I guess, not a big deal.
Yeah.
And did you paint your logo on the door, or theirs, or both? What'd you do on the door? What'd you paint
no, just on the door. I just painted the words "Roll up the window," and then we blow the doors off the competition, and then my green room logo. Correct.
Okay, so I got to know more on this. This is too cool. So you sent the door, courier drops it off. It weighed what, 40, 50 pounds?
Oh, no, just the door weighed 30 pounds, 40 pounds.
Okay.
Just one door. Pounds. Small Volkswagen door. Yeah.
Okay. And people call up and say what to you?
Numerous responses. But ITT Industries was one of my clients. That's what I did with them. I created their brochures and all these little parts and gadget things. So it was a really good client for me. And I got this call from this guy, Alan. He goes, "All right, is Craig there?" Because it had my name on the logo and everything, and my telephone number. "Is Craig there?" "Yes." "Hey, Craig, this is Alan from ITT Industries. Okay, I have your door here. And okay, clever. I get you." And then he said, "What am I supposed to do with this door?" And I said, "Well, I'll come and get it during the meeting that I'm scheduling with you." And they said, "All right, that's a deal. You come and get it. We'll have a meeting." I sat down, had a meeting, picked up the door and left. And then I used it for the next client. So I always got the door back. And that was my way to get the meeting. I'll pick it up.
That is this far removed from Norton antivirus software is putting out viruses and saying, "I kick my antivirus to get rid of it." This is different.
There you go.
There's a positive thing versus negative thing, but okay, very clever. You have hundreds of these things.
So at my Rockstar Marketing Bootcamp, I had 5 days of just doing kind of that.
Yeah.
And then I changed everything to include mindset, because I could teach marketing, but if you don't have the right mindset, then you're not going to be successful, that whole thing. So it kept growing into different things.
Yeah. The mindset thing's funny because at a certain point in our lives, I've been tracking my own brain. It's like, okay, I got enough. I'm good. And then I slip a little bit. I'm like, wait, I need this more. It's weird. It's not a constant thing. You're not always positive or on or belief, right? So people sometimes at certain stages of their life, like, my mindset's fine. Just give me the data. And that's the point where you probably need it the most, in my opinion. I just see that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so the market like a rock star is different. They're not going to be 500 ideas. What's the
deliver? So wait. Do you want me to tell you the envelope one or not?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Because this is my favorite.
Is it a rubber band with a paperclip inside?
No. You're right. No, this is my favorite one, and this one works the best. And anyone could do this one because it's easy. Okay. So you get like a regular envelope, a number 10 business envelope, a white envelope, and I always put my so say I'm trying to attract maybe a sponsorship from some guy named John Smith. So I write John Smith's name and his address, and then in the return address, I put my return address and my telephone number under it. And I lick the envelope and I just mail this empty envelope. So John Smith opens the envelope, nothing's inside. And he's like, oh my God, curiosity. What was inside this envelope? Oh, good, there's a number on the back. Let me call. So he goes, hey, Craig, my name is John Smith, and I received an envelope from you today, but it's empty. What was inside? I said, nothing, but I just wanted to talk to you about, I have an event coming up and da-da-da. And one of two things happen. One, that never happens. They get mad at me, and I'm like, dude, you called me. So you got that out. And then the second one is what they usually say, wow, that's pretty good. I'd love to set up a meeting. And that usually happens.
I love that, Craig. You're right. If they get ticked off, you called me.
Yeah.
And by the way, if they get ticked off, would you even want to work with someone without a sense of humor?
Thank you. Amen, brother. So it was like, I hate cold calling. I won't do it. I just won't do it.
We don't need.
I hate getting calls. I hate, anyway, so this is having them call, because everyone calls because they want to know what's in the envelope.
That is right. And the number on the back is it written like on purpose?
It's my return address, and then I just write my telephone number underneath it.
I'm just getting granular here. Is the return address also written in hand, or is it printed?
It's a stamp.
That's printed.
Yeah, and then I could just get a stamp with my phone number, but I don't want to give my phone number out to everyone, so I just write the phone number underneath. Works like a charm.
I'm sure I'm going to be testing this when I get back home.
Absolutely.
How many would you send out? I mean,
so whenever, I haven't done it since COVID. Yeah. So before COVID, I would mainly do that for sponsors, right? Possible sponsors for my event. Mm-hmm. So if I needed like 30 sponsors, I would send out about 50.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And the great thing is, I'm really good on the phone. I'm a really nice guy. We'll talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk about Guns N' Roses. We'll talk about Air Supply. That's the beauty of having something in your back pocket.
Yeah.
If they just open up the conversation, all right, you got me. I called. What are you doing? I said, well, I teach these marketing seminars.
Right.
And I used to tour Guns N' Roses. I was Axl's assistant. And I learned and that stops the conversation. He says, what? I said, oh, yeah, in my other life, I toured with Guns N' Roses. I was Axl Rose's assistant, and I learned a lot about marketing. And so now they're staying on the line because they just want to know, if nothing else, they just want to know some things that happened on tour with Guns N' Roses.
Sure. I'm the same way with my I have a lot of veteran clients now.
Yeah.
And I'm always fascinated to hear the war stories. I'm like, what'd you do? I want to hear about that. So, it's
of course.
Yeah.
It's all I have to do is get someone on the phone. And if they're calling me, it just makes it all so much easier.
You called me. I got to try that. That's really clever. All right. So
anyway, so that's
the difference going back to the, thanks for reminding me to remind you about the envelope thing. Thank you. The new program, right?
Yeah.
How to market like a rock star is not a 500 things. It is what?
How to deliver your message like a rock star. So,
I can't
like I said, I did all these things, and I still, the funny thing is, I'm going to do a new format in my seminars. It's still going to be 3 days, because now it's 3 days, but it's just a new format. But if you really think about it, I'm going to touch on a lot of the same stuff, but just in a different package. So I'm still going to teach people. So the things, deliver your message like a rock star. Do you like doing this, what Doug and I are doing right now? Do you like interviewing people on whatever this platform is that you have? Restream. I use Zoom and StreamYard. People use various things. Do you like doing that? If you don't like doing that, because you want to stay behind the scenes, you could blog, right? Another one is writing a book, delivering the message, writing a book. Here's another big one. Deliver your message like a rock star is being healthy. So there's a lot of people I've seen people that are overweight, like very overweight, teaching a weight loss program. That just doesn't work, right? Nope. You have to look the part. Like I do Rockstar marketing. Now I'm just like a golfer today. If you saw my
you are. No, I like the jacket. You go to Craig's website, you'll see the Rockstar look.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a Rockstar jacket that I wear on stage, and I have a few of them. but that just ties in with my image. I better have something Rockstar going on if I have a thing called Rockstar Marketing Bootcamp or Rock Your Life or Deliver Your Message Like a Rockstar. There's got to be some sort of Rockstar theme going. Otherwise, there's a disconnect. So that's delivering your message, how you appear in public, how you appear on stage, doing seminars, doing webinars. Like, so what we do in my seminars now, if we figure out individually, like what you want to do best, like what do you like to do? Do you like writing? Well, then do a blog, write a book. I like being on stage, doing live events, then do even lunch and learns, small seminars or something. And then if you like doing this sitting at home on Zoom, which I've been doing for the last 2 years, I'm sure you have too. Then that's another good outlet. And then there's another one, like if you're doing any presentation at all, your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint, so many people list like 15 things on a PowerPoint slide. So no one's listening to you. They're reading all the 15 things. I always have one thought per slide, just one. And then they look at that and then they focus on the thing. That's another way to deliver your message like a rock star. All that stuff.
So, and what are you going to give us today for all this? I mean, I know I'm getting a lot of great value right now, but I'm sure you got a little goodie for us or something.
Well, I have, I don't have it in front of me. I have it on the screen, but anyway, I'm writing a new book. I'm writing a very, I think, clever, unique kind of book.
Why do you use quotation, air quotes? What's the air quotes? You don't need that. It's clever.
No, because I don't know if it's that clever. It might have been done before, but I haven't seen it. So it's called Deliver Your Message Like a Rockstar. And the first third of the book is going to be my book, Deliver Your Message Like a Rockstar, teaching how to deliver your message like a rockstar. So it's like, what is your message? How you want to deliver your message? And then how do you monetize your message?
Great.
So that's the three things that I'll be talking about in the book. The last 100 pages of the book, I'm having 100 authors. They have to, it costs like $797 to be in the book, but I'll produce it. And then everyone gets a page that looks like this. Let me see. So they get like all that stuff. And so everyone gets a page. And on the page, you list your brand, your message. What is the most effective way that you deliver your message? How do you monetize your message? Your free offer, your website address, contact info, and a short tip or story. So everyone gets that. And I have this thing. It's $797 to be in the book. It's going to be a #1 Amazon bestselling author.
Guaranteed.
So there's that little package, and there's a website they could go to. It's it's too long. Can I copy and paste it somewhere?
You can actually tell it to me, and I'll put it in the show notes. It'll be below here.
Okay. So it's Rock Your Life. I wish I had a shorter one, but I didn't set it up fast enough. RockYourLife.Kartra, KARTRA.com. /page, PAGE, /deliver book.
Yeah, we'll get a shortener for that.
No, I 99% of the time have a shorter one, but right now that's
fine.
I just created this. Anyway.
I used a company called Rebrandly, and so like all my links are like dougcrow.link, whatever I want.
Yeah,
so
that's what I always do.
Yeah,
but here I didn't have time to do that yet.
We'll have one. You can send it to me in next week or so, and we'll
Perfect. Awesome.
It'll be below the right one. The long version and the short version will be below the show notes here. Be good. Right. Okay. So keep looking forward to that. So I'm still curious about this. The concept of the Rockstar positioning brand. Okay. I'm gonna deliver my content like a rock star.
Yep.
You're not teaching singing lessons. You're teaching being congruent with who you are.
Yeah.
If a person's shy, they can write. They don't have to be on stage like, outgoing people like you. Other than that, what other elements does a rock star have that most marketers don't possess that they can use?
Very good question. And so my version of a rock star is a business. And in any industry, you're an expert. You're known as the expert in that industry. Sure. So yeah, you're not going to teach people how to sing, but it is all about confidence. Like everything, this is where the mindset comes in, is with confidence. So I have this thing that I talk about in my seminar. It's called Act As If. Act As If. And when I toured with bands, Guns N' Roses Air Supply, I used to watch how people would approach going backstage. I used to watch them because, I was part of giving out backstage passes.
Oh
And
boy.
they're very intimidated, unsure. Even if they have the pass, a backstage pass, they still come through the backstage area through security as if I'm not sure if I belong here, but I have this pass that's going to get me in. I learned back then through talking to every security guard in every venue of the country,
Right.
like, how do you let people in? I mean, we all have a laminated pass. To get in, you have to have a laminated pass.
Right.
But we used to go to other concerts. Me, Axel's security guard, Axel's bodyguard, Axel's chiropractor. We used to go to other concerts.
Sure.
And we used to do this all the time. If you walk with a purpose from the audience to backstage as if you're going to get something backstage because they need it out front, you just walk straight through and don't stop and walk with confidence, you will get backstage all the time.
I read an article about this guy that put on one of those reflector vests.
Yeah.
That's it. No badge, nothing. He was walking into like really high security areas with his reflective vest on. I was like, oh, it's a sign of authority.
That's right. And all you really need to do also, if you're not even confident doing that without any badge, you just put one of those, lanyards around your neck and it has something hanging from it. Doesn't even matter what it is because no one is looking at the thing. So I take that mindset in business. Like when you have a meeting, I am supposed to be here. I am going to nail this. I am going to kick butt in either the meeting or a stage presentation or something. It's the timid, it's the unsure that people just get eaten up. I mean, if you walk in there and it sounds easy, right? Just have confidence, but you'd be surprised how many people.
It's easy for people like you and me because we like it, right? But for people who are shy, it's like death. Yeah.
It is like, oh my gosh, that is going to be the worst day of my life, doing that. But there's just so much to that. And all it is a shift in your mind. All it is like, I belong here. Look, we teach people, both you and I, right? You teach people to only teach what you know. Like if you know it, then there shouldn't be a problem. But if you're just winging it because, I heard this topic makes a lot of money, so I want to talk about that, but you don't really know about it, then you're dead. Right, exactly. But if you know it and you know it, then you should be totally fine. So that's another way, just to deliver your message like a rock star. Like, because when Axl Rose goes on stage, he commands the stage. When Freddie Mercury of Queen went on stage, they command the stage. They command the audience. I studied Freddie Mercury. That's why I think I'm a good speaker.
You are, Craig. Trust me, you are.
He commanded 80,000 people talking to the last person in the last row. And that's the visual I do when I'm on stage. I want to make sure I'm connecting to the last person in the last row.
Yep. I was in a couple of audiences once. I forget who it was. She's A-lister. And I swear to God, she's looking at me half the time. I mean, the eye contact was laser-like.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I'm saying hi, and say, "Oh yeah, nice to see you again." I'm like, "Crap!" And there was like 300 people, not 80,000, but still, it was pretty impressive.
Another thing is, we all like connection, right? So if you're doing a live event, and you probably know this, and a lot of your people probably know this, but do you know that every time, because you just mentioned, which made me think of something else, you mentioned the eye contact. Like I usually pick out, if I see someone smiling in the audience, I'm focusing on that person.
Sure.
No, because I pick numerous people throughout a 3-day seminar. But I like going into the audience. And do you know that 90% of the time, and it might be 85%, but I actually track this. If I go and touch someone's shoulder in the audience, they're 85% chance they're going to sign up for my mastermind.
Plus, they're healed.
Yes, right. Amen, brother. But seriously, it's the connection. And that's what we want. We all want to feel connected. We all want to feel significant. We all want to feel important. And if you just give someone a hug. Obviously, you're not going to do that, just in the audience, but just as you're walking by, like, good to see you, good to see you.
That is
cool.
Yoda level speaker stuff,
It
man.
is. It is.
I never even considered that.
And
I
it's
know
not manipulation.
No.
Most people might. I actually just want to, hey, how you doing? A little, thing on the shoulder. Because I appreciate you being here. Yeah.
There's so much psychology with getting in the audience in the first place. I mean, you're a little younger than me, but Phil Donahue, used to do that.
I am not younger than you.
Oh, you look really good, man.
How old are you? How old are you?
61.
61?
Yeah.
I'm 60. All right.
See? Told you were younger.
All right, we're close.
Wait, what month? So the
November.
So yeah, but okay, so you do remember Phil Donahue then, because we're
sure.
And he used to go down the audience there, and then when you go in the audience, you're part of the audience. So it just felt like, oh, he's one of us.
Yes.
But the touching thing is, that's the way we communicate like that. Like, hey, how you doing? Especially if you're in a Latin country, of course. It's so interesting that you had that conversion rates on that.
It's amazing. Now
that is great.
Now I don't. Now you don't abuse it, so you don't touch everybody in the audience. Well, no, yeah, that too. But no, but you don't just go and just, tap everybody just to get conversion. You're seeing something from that person.
Yes,
like you said, the eye contact.
Right.
So I know I'm connecting to that person, and I'll go over to that person during my set, whether it's like whether they're writing something down or working on something. I'll just go up, behind them, tap them on the shoulder, and go like, good, good. Because I know there's a connection already. So it's not just I'm just not tapping everybody. You know what I mean?
But, I get it. Yeah, it's just a select few, the VIPs. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's the people that are engaging with you visually or even in an auditory manner. You can go and seal the deal with a shoulder. I get it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it to say, I really appreciate what you're giving me.
Yeah.
You're giving me positive feedback, which is making me feel good on stage.
Right. Okay. So we've talked a lot about the rock star attitude, perspective, mindset in the speaking world, which we enjoy. Let's talk about those poor people, those recluses, the shy ones who are going to be behind their computer, blogging or writing articles, or maybe doing audio or something like that. How can they position themselves or change their mindset that it's okay to be the behind the scenes or the behind the camera rock star?
Yep. So the number one thing I teach, which is weird, because it came by accident, because I wrote 4 books in 9 weeks, is writing a book. So if you write a book, how many books have you written?
Oh, not enough. We've ghostwritten about 200 now.
Oh wow! Because you help people write books.
Yeah.
You've written a book or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I've done a couple. This is a good segue. Let me do a short story. Hold that thought.
Okay.
So guys, people who know me, look, we ghostwrite books for basically C-suite folks, right? But my very first book, I was speaking on real estate investing, and every time I speak somewhere, where's your book? I'm like, I don't have one. And my office staff said, Doug, you got to write a book. I said, I have no time. Like, get out of the office. So I got out of the office and I used Craig's method. I learned at one of his events. He said, take like a 7-chapter book, write each chapter on one piece of paper with 3 bullet points and tape on the wall, and get your recorder out and talk your book out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that was the only way I could possibly get my first book done. Actually, my second one. First one's even worse. The second one got done using Craig's method, because it happens so quickly. And then, of course, you got to get it to an editor. Otherwise, it reads like a transcript and it's ugly. So yeah, that was the tipping point for me.
And what year was that? Do you remember what year that was?
Dude, I don't remember when.
So I started in 2006, and I know we've known each other for a pretty long time. So I'm going to guess it was 2009, 10, or 11. That's what I'm going to guess. Somewhere in that range. Yeah.
And since then, we've changed the game a little bit, of course, because we're ghostwriting. So we have a journalist and a proofreader, editor, ghostwriter doing everything in concert with them. But to get a book done on your own, that is the absolute best way. Don't think you're going to write it yourself. Talk it out and get a really good editor.
Yeah. That's what I do. So my Guns N' Roses book, I wrote a book called Welcome to My Jungle. Yeah. And I just, I'm a 1-finger typist, like 2 fingers, but I'm fast. Yeah. because still I don't know how to type, and it drives me crazy because my thoughts are going at 1,000,000 miles a minute,
Right.
but my fingers are, so I talk it out, and now you have these voice things on the iPhone. It's just so easy, and then I go to rev.com and they transcribe it, and then I have a shell to work with. But like Doug said, I have these Post-its that I put like everywhere, and I have different colored Post-its, these things, and they're listed in chapters. So chapter 1, I'll have like orange Post-its, 6 things that I want to talk about in chapter 1. There'll be a blue Post-it for chapter 2, and then 6 blue things that I want, or 5 or 6 or 4 things that I want to talk about in that chapter. So then you get a visual of your whole book on the wall with stickies, and then you could say, oh, that's weird. I'm talking about in chapter 1, that sticky is kind of the same thing in chapter 5 in that one. So you take one off and just move it over. And because each one is a different colored sticky, you remember where it was before. So if it's moved, you go, wait, where was that before? Because it doesn't make sense there anymore. And then you move it back to the same color.
You've upgraded your tools.
I have.
You just told me an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with Scotch tape is all I had.
No, I've updated it. It's easier now.
Oh my God, that's
I've
high
had
tech though, color coding.
750 plus people write a book using my How to Write a Book in 30-Day system. Over 750. It's crazy. So back to your question.
Yeah.
My thing is the number one thing that you could do if you don't want to be out there in the public at all is just write a book about what you do. It's your system or your program or whatever you do. So I'm writing a new one called Deliver Your Message Like a Rockstar because it's my new title for my podcast. It's my new title for my event. So I'm going to have a book to promote it. And then people could buy the book. There's this guy, Jeff Crilly. He lives here in where do I live now? Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
I just moved. And he said, he was a Channel 4 news guy, and he used to speak to audiences all the time, but he wasn't allowed to promote his book or something because of Channel 4 News, but he was allowed to speak on a topic and then sell books at the back of the room. And you had mentioned before, do you have a book, as a real estate investor guy?
Yeah, right.
And that's what everyone asks. If you are a speaker and you don't have a book, you are missing out on making at least $10 to $20 per person in the room, because you should sell something. And everyone, if you're a good talker, will buy a book, so you got to have a book.
Right.
So it's the number one thing that between speaking, writing, anything, the number one thing you can do is have a book.
Yeah. And I've always mentioned to my clients too, I said, every other piece of marketing, everything is temporary except the book.
That's right.
Blog posts, advertising, podcasts, radio, TV, PR, everything is temporary. It comes and goes in seconds, except the book. So you get that book done or have someone help you with it, either Craig or myself. I guarantee you.
No, I'm not helping. I'm not helping. I just give them. I teach them what. I teach them what to do, but you actually help them with the book. So go to Doug. Yeah. Doug's the guy.
Yeah, okay. Come here. Yeah, it's funny, Craig. I think it's probably the interesting part of my industry is that I've had other publishers and ghostwriters on. Like, really? I'm like, well, yeah. I have no competition. Oh, everybody says that. No, I really don't. You know why? Nobody owns one book.
Amen.
So, you know what? I'm sorry. I would bring on anybody. It was like, it's just, no one has one book.
Dude, I do the same thing. I honestly don't think, first of all, how many billion people are in this world, right? Yes. Anytime someone talks about competition, I won't have them on my stage because he's talking about marketing. I'm like, bring it on. It's a different you're teaching something probably totally different. Even if we say we're teaching the same thing, some people will like your personality. Some people will like mine. They resonate with you. They resonate with me. It doesn't matter. I never think there's any competition, and it's not because of ego. I just think there's enough people in this world for everybody.
It's actually a lack of ego. It's a perspective of numbers, because what you said, 7 billion. Think about like how many. I read somewhere there's now over 1 billion blogs. There's a blog for every 7 people on the planet. There's like 50 million Facebook posts an hour minimum in this USA.
Yeah.
No one knows who you are anyway. So don't get so high on yourself. Come
That's
on.
right.
It's crazy. Anyway, So, book thing is cool. When is your book going to come out? Do you have a target date for it?
Yeah, it's being launched at my October event. I have
Nice.
an event in Los Angeles, October 13, 14, 15.
Perfect.
Tickets aren't even out for that yet.
Okay.
But so what I'm doing is I'm getting all the 100 people. I think we have 24 right now. I just released this to my mastermind. I have about 160 people in my mastermind.
Nice.
I just asked them first who wants to be in the book. It's $797 to be in the book. And so I have like 24 of those. And then, but I want 100, but I don't want all in my mastermind. So today, actually, which is, I know we're delayed a little bit, but around this time is when I'm going to release it to the public. The opportunity to be in the book. It'll sell fast because $797, first of all, they're going to really be in my book. It's my book. So I'm going to be promoting the heck out of this book because the first word is my new system. And everywhere I speak, I give out books everywhere. I just give free books. So everyone in the book is going to go out to thousands of people. I'll probably buy 10,000 books. Each person gets 25 books for being in the book as well. And then I give out the rest or sell the rest, and it's going to be an Amazon bestseller because we always do that. We're always number one. We know how to do that, and it's just a good marketing piece for people. And then you just write down on your book. I give out these stickers, and you could come up with a sticker that says "Check out page 104." That's their page, you know? Or like Craig Duswalt featured on page 104, put that sticker on the book. I left a little area that they could leave a sticker, and I'll tell people to do that. Anyway, it's a good marketing piece for people. And there's there's like a QR code on the page that I'm instructing people how to get a QR code and what to do with it. Make it go to a lead page of something.
Yes. Give away some value, folks, because just putting your name and your cute picture there might not be enough. You might want to give them some value, like Craig's doing today. With getting an offer to be in his future #1 best-selling book for the low price of $797. It's a good deal. I like that. Highly recommend it. Craig, we could talk all day, but I'm sure we have things to do. Any closing thoughts on the Rockstar marketing style?
So, yes. The last 2 years, we've all gone through this thing. And I'm finding I just did an event in February here in Texas. It was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday in North Dallas. On Wednesday, we had the biggest ice storm Dallas has ever seen. And Thursday, it snowed all day. So I usually get, like, in LA when I do this, I have 600, 700 people now come to my events. I had 40 people on Thursday night. I had 80 people on Friday, and I had 120 on Saturday because it was a little bit better. It was a very eye-opening experience. It was my first one back from COVID. It did not go well because of the situation, because of the snow. But what did happen was such a blessing. I was still doing Rock. I still own the trademark for Rock Your Life, and all my events are Rock Your Life events. The theme is deliver your message like a rock star. But at this event, Thursday night, I was supposed to be a 4-hour session where I started teaching, but no one was there on Thursday, so we did a panel of speakers. But because of that, I was now 4 hours behind. So I had to do basically 2.5 days in 2 days. And the first day there weren't many people there in the morning. So I even had to push it back a little bit more. Point was this: I fire hosed everybody. I spoke very fast to try to get in as much information as possible. And I'm just looking at the glassy-eyed people in the audience like, he's going way too fast. But they loved it. And they're being nice to me, but I know what I did. So I stepped back, and that's when I said, you know what? I already speak fast. I'm from New York. I speak fast. But I didn't have time that whole weekend to do the main things that I wanted to do. I wanted to go into the audience. I wanted to interact with people. I couldn't do it. So that's when, and it was my Rock Your Life event. It was Mindset Marketing Mastery. That was the tagline.
Mhm.
And that's when I stepped back after that seminar, after the 2 years of thinking of all this stuff. And I tried to, that's when I said, I have to um, uh, condense this whole thing. Because I
Yeah.
used to do 5 days and I already squeezed them into 3 days. I just started giving out way too much information. So I said, I need to have one theme. And that's where I came up with deliver your message like a rock star. So everything I teach will have one of the same thought process behind it,
Yeah.
which makes it easier for people to understand and easier for me to communicate. So it was a blessing that I was doing this because I turned this nightmare situation into what I feel is a whole new program with a very, very easy to follow message.
Plus, I love the fact that it's customized to personality and
Yeah.
lifestyle, right? I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of guys would say, here's what it like. I gloss over on like ads. I'm like, I'll have to hire that out. I don't understand Facebook ads, right?
Right.
But I understand, organic and content and stuff, but I'm always interested in that. But if it's something you're not interested in, you don't have to worry about it because this is customized towards the theme, which is the positioning mindset.
Yes.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
really,
And
that's
it
really
makes
important.
and what it did for me, and here's where I was in my mastermind and we all came up with this deliver your message like a rock star thing.
Right.
Especially this guy, Todd Wester, who I'm working with. I'll give him credit for finalizing the wording.
Yeah.
But this is why I think masterminds are so important because we brainstormed this.
Yeah.
I was saying all the stuff that I just said, and then we brainstormed it. And that's where my closing thought would be like, I'm a marketing guy. My first brand was I was America's Shoestring Budget Coach. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like,
How to attract all the broke people in your life,
Right, exactly. So I'm teaching these people how not to spend money on marketing and advertising, and then I'm trying to sell a coaching program for $5,000. How many did I sell, Doug?
Oops.
0.
Yeah, 0, right.
And so then I went to my mastermind and I said, okay, something's not working. I toured with Guns N' Roses, toured with Air Supply, and I'm America's Shoestring Budget Coach. And everyone was like, why are you not incorporating music in your brand?
We had a suit and tie too. I remember the images of that.
Yeah.
You're all like buttoned
And
up.
I stood like this, with this picture.
Yeah, right.
It was horrible. So, but once again, the mastermind said, Craig, how are you not incorporating music in your brand? And I'm like, what a concept. I don't know why. Yeah. I'm the marketing guy, but you can't see it for yourself. Right. So this is why I have a mastermind. This is why I joined masterminds. And it happened again with deliver your message like a rock star. So the point of that is it made me on fire again because it's new, it's shiny and new, and it's like I said, one theme now that I could go deeper instead of spreading out thin. I'm just going deeper into how to do one thing really, really well.
Brilliant.
That's what you should all do.
And that's the lesson. Yeah, we should all do that for what we're doing. And it's so hard because most people I know are good at a lot of things.
Yes.
They can teach a lot of things.
That's
that's okay. But if you don't have a foundational underlying theme for it, you're going to missing people. They're going to be like, what? Right. So good job. I'm impressed. When your pre-registration opens up for the October event, I'll put that, I'll reopen up.
Well, if you could do me a favor though, Doug, I'm having another event first, July 7, 8, 9 in Frisco, Texas. July 7, 8, and 9. And it's rockyourlifeconference.com. I would love to promote that. It's only $197 for general admission, $297 for VIP.
For how many days?
3 days. 3 days.
See, that's right. I'm not your coach, but you need.
No, I know, but it's an early bird price. It's going to go up. Every month it goes up. But here's the thing. Yeah. I'm a keynote speaker. I make money as a keynote speaker. It's not my give back because I do charge money. But I just love putting on events, and I just have to break even on the event, and I'm happy. And then I have to sell my mastermind, which you should all be in my mastermind out there.
No vetting needed. Oh, so what's the URL for the July event?
Rockyourlifeconference.com.
Okay.
Rockyourlifeconference.com.
And then there'll be another shortened link for the book thing. If you want to be involved with a #1 best-selling book with Craig as the author, that's the one to go to. So, Craig, man, thank you so much. I'm glad to catch up after all these years.
Yeah, Doug, it's so good seeing you. Yeah. Doug, I've known Doug for years. He's legit. Everyone, you all already know that. But he's one of the good ones. Love
Yeah.
you, buddy.
Same thing, man. Appreciate you. Stick around for a second. We're going to close the show out. And that was Craig Duswalt. Get his stuff. Check him out. He is also one of the good guys. So appreciate you. This is Doug Crow with the Author Brand Show. Have a good one.